Well, we got the concrete pour. We got a big, gigantic job here this morning. Over 110 yards of concrete. The pump truck, that's a big pump truck too. It's here. And a lot of the Israelites, them done drove down in here. Look like some of Michael Israel crew here. I see Brother Daniel, Mir from Lion's Den, the Straitway, Goshen, and Samuel here. Brother Ron. It's a good thing because everybody gets an opportunity. Oh boy, they get an opportunity to actually learn, because these form walls right here, like I've been telling people over and over again, they're going to be the staple as far as us putting buildings up. We're still going to lay block building, but it's still going to be the main staple as far as us putting buildings up from here on out. I mean, if you can look at this thing right here, this is a huge building with all these form walls right here. See them? This is a huge building. That's a lot of bracing on it. So you're definitely going to need a bunch of 2x4x16s. It depends on the size of your building. You're going to need a lot for bracing because we have to make sure that we got this thing to the point that it ain't going nowhere. But this is a lot of pressure. This is a hell of a lot of pressure for a building. And this is an older pumper truck, you can tell that. But it'll get the job done. That's an old pump truck right there.
That is. Yes, sir.
That other one we had, that was a whole lot newer than that one.
Yeah, but a lot smaller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely bigger.
So this is just regular aggregate?
5-inch truck, 4,000.
What's up, Larry? You know what, they love these kind of forms. All you gotta do is drive up.
Now, truck 5 or 6.
Tightening up all the wedge bolts. We have an extremely big day. We're going to be at this a long time. We got about 110 yards concrete to put down. We're going to be busy all day. Plus, a little overcast, which is nice for us. Hope it doesn't rain. Hope it just passes right on by. But everybody's checking the anchor bolts and stuff, and we'll give you a little bit of video as we go to try to keep you all abreast as much as we can. All right, what happens is that the aggregate goes into the back of the pump truck right here. The man right here controls this big old boom. And then McNabb them gives them direction as they begin to move it around. They have to get it settled in there first. What Brother Ray and Brother Scott is doing is they're using a vibrator. They're vibrating and getting all the air of the concrete out to make sure that there's a solid seal against the wall so there won't be no air pockets. So when we pull these forms off right here, it's going to be smooth on the outside. So that's what they're doing there. And then when you vibrate the concrete, you think it's up 3 feet, but by the time you vibrate it, it's down about 4 inches from what you poured it in, so they're removing all that air. So there's a lot of hopping and a lot of moving around, a lot of stuff has got to be done. So we got a lot of brothers here today so that they can see the process, learn the process, and then they can take their time to go around they're keeping their eyes on the wedge boats to make sure that none of them are releasing. And so, plus we have some people on the inside as well. What do you think about the process?
Oh, it's going smooth so far. So far, so good. And like I'm telling you earlier, I look forward to seeing, I'm just happy that it's actually finally happening right now, but you got plenty of hands, plenty of eyes, making sure nothing's buckling, nothing's coming loose, everything's staying plumb, straight. I like it. I'm enjoying it so far. So it should be a pretty smooth process.
Hallelujah. As you can see, it takes an extraordinary amount of bracing on this wall, an extraordinary amount of bracing. You can never, ever have enough bracing. Plus, we have walk panels all the way around. Doesn't seem like it, but it's pretty sturdy. It's pretty good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing. Hey, so what we're doing is we're only pouring 3 feet at a time all the way around. So the building's right here is 12 foot tall. So it's going to be 4 pours at 3 feet all the way around. Then we'll go back around and do it again. All right, we'll get back with y'all a little bit later. Got 1 truck done. He's got to go down here and turn around and wash out. Next truck up, next man up. Got to be able to get out, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get past that. Yeah, he can. All right, as you can see right here, there's a system. There's a method to the madness. We got Brother McNabb controlling the horn, and Brother Brett is out front making sure that the rebar stays centered. Hey, so what Brother Brett is doing with that 2x4 is making sure that the rebar that is tied inside of the frame is staying in the center as the concrete goes up. And McNabb is putting the stuff down there to 3 or 4 foot. The guys controlling the boom. And then we have Ray and Scott and them controlling the vibrator with Delano holding the line. So there's a method to the madness. We have brothers going around as the actual wood, the concrete is going into the pad to make sure that all the anchor bolts are tight. And of course there's a truck over here still pouring aggregate into the pump truck. And that's how it rolls. Brother Bud is giving his guy some professional advice concerning the truck down there. He asked him what color it was because he got it right, yellow.
He said yellow. Yes, sir.
Now, how long can we keep his attention is another story.
Yellow, that's right. Yes, sir.
He loves coming up here, being around this stuff.
Truck? It is a truck, yes sir. Cement truck, concrete truck.
Sisters over here bought our breakfast, and now they are getting ready to leave, and maybe a couple hours bring us up some lunch. You like his Kaya? Rock.
That is one nice rock.
Didn't get a shot of the inside right here. Again, we got people going along tightening up the edge of the anchor bolts, excuse me. Right now, I'm in here going across this rebar right here because we actually need to get some 2x4s down here, move this over some. I'll get him in here in just a second. We'll make sure we get that going because we have to get that 2x4s in here and make sure it's wedged in the center. just up here a minute ago. They all got their little, one of them got their little pad out recording. School children and the teachers. Next generation, huh? All right, Brother Lee, you down here from Straitway Goshen in Indiana.
Yes, sir.
And so what do you think thus far about the concrete pour on this massive building right here?
First of all, you don't realize how big it is until you really get to it. 12 feet high?
Yeah.
One, two, well, I was talking to Brother Bud about an hour and a half ago. He said the first pour for the first 3 to 4 feet was about an hour and a half around the entire building. And that was just the first 3 to 4 feet. So if you can give it a little measurement, it tells you how big this building is. But it's a lot of concrete. They've been at it for about 3 hours now. So
it's a lot.
It's a lot of concrete.
Yeah, we're right at 80 yards right now. We still got a ways to go.
It's crazy.
8-inch thick walls. That's some kind of building though, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I know one thing, a tornado ain't gonna take this wall
No,
down.
sir. No worry, no worry.
Ain't happening.
Sorry, I'll be back by then.
All right, so there's the school children. The homeschool children, the next generation of wisdom in Israel, getting a little bit of learning curve right here with the brother. Hey, Judah, you can't be the only girl in school, are you?
I have my sister, but she's too young to do school.
Yeah, she is too young to do school. So you're the only girl in school right now? I got all these boys. Judith is actually born out here. Look how fast they grow. I ain't find out where the truck is real quick. Well, we're on 80 yards right now. It's starting to rain. I mean, we're not going to stop. It's not going to stop us right now. As a matter of fact, we can't stop as expensive it is to rent this pump truck right here. I think the other two trucks probably done took a lunch break or something like that. Hope they ain't lunching too long, because we're right there. And I think they're at the top. I'll go over here and climb up on this thing and check and see.
Instructions to do with that long hose. I'm curious if you move it out of the way so the truck doesn't go over. That's one part, and remember the other part. And then give that to Carlisle. Remember I said unscrew it about the middle of that wall?
And you want them lines shown, right, Brother Bud? The black lines and the red lines, right? The markings.
Oh yeah, no, if I can see it, that just tells me where you have to drop my board.
Anyway, all I'm getting at is you never need to hook that over there. So that when I send other brothers to get it, they bring over an extra 200 foot of hose. Might have hooked it over there. There's the question on it.
Now there's some more children. They were paying attention to the poor. And don't look like they're paying attention to the poor no more. Look like dad got to go to work or something, huh? Bless you. And we're about halfway around on a couple, the last couple of trucks we getting ready to go through right here. It's still raining. Everything's still going good, going fair, fine. Like Angelica's father, mother flew out here to be with us for a week or so. They're magging the top, making sure they get it on. You got to get the children in here, because if you don't get the children in here, you're not going to have nothing for them to be able to look back on when they see what was going on. Overall, everything's really gone well, and the form walls is actually holding up really, really good. The good thing about form walls is once you get your foundation work done, your footings, and you're proficient and level, you can set these form walls up on it, and you can pour solid concrete within the walls. Like we have these 8 inches, this is an 8-inch wall thick all the way around. And this particular system right here is a one-time investment that we can continue to keep using throughout the communities. Because if you look at this one section, that's one building that we could actually send to another community, depending on what they want. To have another section over there, that's another community. So we thank Brother Kabir for actually donating the form walls to us, because again, you can build dining halls out of this, homes out of this. There's a lot we can do, but we're gonna get ready to cut this off right now because we got a truck backing up. We gotta get this paperwork. I'll let y'all on the other side. This is what you call an iconic legend right here. Vibrator somehow got, need more money. The vibrator somehow got stuck in the wall, and he done took a concrete bath.
Hallelujah, but it's out.
All right, so hey, you need to go over and spray off real quick.
Yes, sir.
And we need to figure out, that was 10, this is 11.
It is?
This is truck number 11 right here.
We need that call back.
The whole 12.
Yes, sir, the call back. No, yeah, this is number 11. We need number 12. We want 2 yards at least added for that. So 4 yards, 3 yards.
How far you think this is gonna take us? This ain't gonna make it all
I'd have
to
to
the
stop
end.
and do all the math again. So
All right.
They're at different heights and elevations, and yes, sir, it would take me a couple.
Let me figure out what's going on. I'll give them a call, tell them what we need right now, all right?
But I know 2 yards we can eat up in here, so we won't have extra if we had 2 more.
All right, so right now here, you can see Brother McNabb is nice and concrete and salty. It's still raining out here. We're still getting the job done. It's getting a little wet and nasty out here. It's part of it, because you can't stop right now. Still think it's a good way to go. We'll see where this brings us to. But Daniel's coming back over here with an answer for me. We're setting anchor bolts over there right now, on the far side over there. We're probably going to be a little north of 114 yards, but we'll see. Our children out there, along with the moms and the teachers, I guess they're enjoying the rain and the rock pile. You know, they got to do their job out here too far to pour roads. actually been going pretty smooth out here today. It's getting a little wet and nasty. First day, we got a job in front of us because we got to take all these down. And that ain't gonna be no joke. And we have to clean them up, stack them up. We got to build us an actual overhead lean-to to store all the lumber from it so that it doesn't warp, to get it ready for the next building project. So you have to take care of your equipment, because if you don't, then you just wasted a bunch of money. Hope y'all learned something today. We'll get you a few more videos in here before we close it out. It's been an experience. Pretty much gonna look like when you get finished with the job after you've been up there the whole time. Look there. We can actually put you in the wall. Form wall.
I was halfway in it. Yeah. It's got trees on both sides, but it's flat. It's flat in there. I just knocked most of it off.
The whole man just knocked most of it off, huh? Bro, Willie, he glad to get out here. Hey. Rather than being on that barge, man, he's glad to get out here and be moving.
We dig a footer this weekend.
By hand.
By hand. Hand and feet.
We almost done. We just got finished having the pump truck guy give us a bunch of horror stories about contractors. And he said, this is by far the best job that he has had in a long time. He did. He said the bracing is just, everything was solid. Everything was good. You could tell it's level. You could tell that a lot of care was put into it. He said that everything was smooth. He ain't had this in a long time. He was telling me about stories about contractors taking shortcuts and blowing, people's walls getting blowed out and stuff, and then pouring just solid concrete, because concrete will sit on the water, right? But they're pouring solid concrete in a 2 foot of water. And them are footings, which in a couple of years, man, it's gonna be bad news. It's just sad. So anyway, that's sad. So all right, we are now up here running string lines and setting anchor bolts. And we gotta make sure they set up, because this concrete is setting up. And this other truck should be no more than maybe 15, 20 minutes. He should be here, because we gotta get to rolling. And see, right now what he's doing is clearing out the holes. See that? Yeah. And he's putting all the concrete back into the hopper again. Okay, now what the brothers are doing, there's a string line that's ran up top. And with that string line that ran up top, they are actually taking the bracing and they're turning it to make sure that the walls are straight, because anytime you pour concrete, it has a tendency to bow in and out. And so they're straightening the walls right now and bringing it to the line. And right now he's just recirculating the concrete that is in there so that it doesn't harden up while we wait on the next truck. Looks like we got maybe 2 yards left, and we have another project over here we're waiting on. But yeah, we had to actually go down and actually straighten every single wall even after this, so it's pretty tedious. Hope everybody learned something. I really truly wish that we could really get all of Israel together to learn all this stuff, but I'm telling you, the way I see it, I don't see Israel as a whole. I truly don't see them ever coming together. As a matter of fact, I see them suffering. That's what I see. But I know one thing, Straitway gonna continue on doing what we're doing. I didn't hear it, but I got a shout out from Malachi Maccabee. And yeah, I mean, there was a little differences, but hey, at least one thing, he can recognize truth when he sees it. At least in that area. So anyway, hey, Michael Israel. Michael Israel, what you doing up there?
What's that?
What are you doing? attention to detail all the way down to the last bit, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, here we are, the last truck for the day. We ended up with a total of 14 yards. 14 yards. And we're going to finish it up here. We hope that some way, somehow, everybody enjoyed this. Again, the guy at the pumper truck gave us nothing but accolades. He does this for a living. Said many of these contractors he would never hire, but if he could, he would basically hire us. So here we are. We can only hope that y'all enjoyed this. And listen, if many of y'all are not on my Patreon channel, you may want to come over and get on my Patreon channel. Brother Dan, you think it is worth it to come over on my Patreon channel?
Oh, absolutely. You better get on Patreon. You're going to get stuff like this. You're going to get stuff that's happening in this country. Most importantly, you're going to get fed spiritually. If you're not coming on Patreon, you wasting your time. I tell people all the time, you better get on Patreon, you better get on the highest level too. Straight up. At the highest level. Because the amount of information that you're getting, you're not getting it nowhere else. You're not getting this knowledge nowhere else. And if you apply it, it change your life. What's $100? What's $5? What's $10? When you look down later on, this literally help you make decisions that's changing your life. I would.
So anyway, with that said, we're gonna wish y'all well. We gotta get back busy.
On finish this Paul. Shalom.
Keep coming.